Hello, my name is Apple of Doom, and welcome to another Geometry Dash building video. In the last video, I added in this entire cutscene with full-on text boxes and it's skippable and all this sort of stuff. But in today's episode, I haven't really worked on it, unfortunately. I've worked on a lot more gameplay. If you are interested to see how this all works, then I'm going to put a little link to it up on the top right corner, so check that out if you're interested. And I'll show you what I've been up to this week in this week's progress update. So the main thing I've done is this massive wall of gameplay here. Now, with everything up until here, I've been doing 5 different sections of kind of regular gameplay that's anchored to this kind of floor here that'll teleport in. This is a lot more freeform, and you'll notice a lot of the portals don't actually line up with the ends of the gameplay. Now, I wanted this section to be a lot more open and have a lot more of, I guess, like the flying type game modes, just to add a bit of variety into this level, which already has a bunch of variety. But I can't exactly playtest it here, and I'll show you why. If I get a start position, the song doesn't exactly line up at all. It kind of breaks quite a bit. And also it loads in all the sound effects and does a bunch of weird stuff. And the reason it does that is because we've got the teleport triggers and the whole cutscene skip at the start of the level. So what I've been doing is I had to pretty much move all the gameplay into a different level. So if I go here is all the gameplay sections that I actually started with before I moved them in. So if I put a start pause, you can see the music actually plays properly and all the triggers work correctly. And I'm really happy with that. I think it works very well. So from now on, I'm going to basically have this extra level that is going to be used for creating the gameplay just so I can get the music sync right, while the other level is the main that I've been working on, of course. So if we go back to it, I mentioned that none of the portals actually line up with the exits for their respective parts. And the reason for that is every single portal is on the same level, and I've actually got a set of move triggers over here that determines how the level moves in order to fit it. So if I were to give an example, here we got option 1 into option 1 here, right? So you can see the portal needs to move up 10. So what happens is if you enter the first seed here, then it will cause this to move up 10, it'll cause this to move up 10, so on and so forth. I think all of these just like move it up 10. And so what that's doing is from here on, every portal will spawn 10 up, and that goes for all of them. So they'll all be adjusted. And so that means everything will line up correctly. I feel like I'm not explaining this well. You can see here, this has a lot of move triggers. This has less and this has less. This is basically saying sections, I guess I just worked on section 5. So 6, 7, 8 will move up or to whatever position the exit of the previous section was. This will be section 7 and 8. And this is just section 8. And then section 8 is fine. So I hope that makes a lot of sense, but it's cool. If I play this in normal mode, you can see that everything lines up correctly now. And so I can have all these different random sections of gameplay all kind of warp into each other. And I think it works really well. So if I play through it again, every part should seamlessly move into the next without any issues. And you can see, oh, that goes into here. And then we've got section 2, section 1, or seed 1. I should be calling the correct things. And it all works out perfectly. One thing you might have noticed is that I've actually stacked all these vertically now. And there's a reason for this, because if I once again go into the normal mode and I skip to where it level starts, there's a loading screen now. So essentially what's happening is everything that loads in is random. So these are all the toggles that toggle on each loaded text, right? And the progress bar is the same every time. But the reason I've got it set up like this is because there are so many things toggling on and off and spawning at the same time in order to reduce lag going forward. Because remember, this is all going to have multiple different designs at the same time that are all going to toggle on and off. So to reduce lag, I've added this kind of buffer section in here, and I've left a note for myself, just ignore that. That means when you teleport here, it'll load everything in, and if there's any delay on your device, it won't throw off the music sync, because I want the music sync to be spot on, right? So if this lags out your like phone or tablet or whatever, the song will still play at the exact same time and you'll have a normal level experience. So it's pretty much just future-proofing is that whole thing. So that's pretty much most of what I've done, except there's another just little secret, and that's this weird area, which is the input seed section. So in order to play test it correctly and get some good feedback on my level, I've basically just created this secret little area where you can input whatever seed you want. So if I have it all as ones here and I press enter, it'll do the loading screen that I just explained. And then everything will be correct. See, look, we've got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and so on and so forth. So, how the hell did I get this working? And if I go back and do this, everything changes. I can do literally whatever I want. The best part is, if I get it to section 5, right? If I press it one more time, it'll loop back to the number 1. How on earth did I do that? And take a look. It works exactly how you think it would. I'm very proud of this if you can't tell. So, if we go to this input seed section, there's a secret way to get into this that I'm not going to explain. You can search for that for yourself when you get your hands on the level in November when the competition ends. But essentially, each of these are on their own item ID. So if I go here, item ID. I mean, it's a little counterintuitive because I've used item IDs to create the cutscene skip, right? So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which are for sections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, respectively. So first of all, when you get to this area, it'll spawn everything here that sets all of these to the number 1. And using the count trigger, if I go into here, every time you reach the number 6, it'll respawn the group that sets it to 1. So that means we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as soon as you hit it one more time to count up to 6, it'll count back down to 1 again. So surprisingly simple, but extremely effective. And that's exactly what we want, because there's only 5 different seeds per section. Now, if I take apart the blocks here, I've got 2 triggers on them. First is the sound effect trigger that plays the blip, 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 blip whenever you do it, which I hope you guys like sound effects in this level, because this isn't a traditional level in the traditional sense. You know, you got all these different moving parts and things, and this section especially is very unique for this type of level. So I feel like sound effects kind of enhance the experience. But what happens is every time you hit this, it just counts up by 1, and it's set to multi-trigger, so it triggers multiple times. If I go to this section in the playtest mode, you can see I'll hit it, and it goes to 2, whatever. You can see I'm hitting the things just right. That counts them up. But how on earth does this affect the actual seed? If I go back up to here where we've got all these, you might have noticed it looks a little different from last time, and that's because I've moved these advanced random triggers down, and in this spot is actually a series of instant count triggers. Now, what these instant count triggers do is set the seed properly. So when you enter this area, it toggles a series of things, and if I teleport here and have this in the loading section, blah, 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 you'll see that all of these have turned back on, and the advanced random trigger has turned off. So essentially, the advanced random trigger chooses between each of these 5 groups here, right? So what this is doing is it's saying, hey, if the item ID 3 is 1, then it does this one. If it's 2, it does this one, and so on and so forth for each and every one of these. So it's pretty much just bypassing the randomness of the random level, which I'm sure that should be allowed because it's a bit of a secret thing to get to, and it's mainly used for debug. Debugging is the word I've been looking for this entire time. Debugging. But yeah, putting in all this amount of gameplay was a lot of work, so it doesn't look like I've done a lot this week, but I actually have. The other thing I should explain is how the hell does this loading thing work, and how is it random in which sections it loads every time? Take a look at that. It's a different group again. Different group, different order again. Order is the word I'm looking for, yeah. Different order. Different order. How does that work? So essentially, I've got all 8 messages, I guess, loaded in here. And this is the group that does it. So essentially what's happening is I've got these spawn triggers here and the scale trigger. This scale trigger is all the loading bar is. That's it. It just expands the loading bar and that's it. I think that's a really simple and effective way of doing it. But these spawn triggers all have kind of random timings to them. So each time you play it, you'll get a different random timing for each one. It is slightly ordered. You'll see the delay goes up 1 by 1, but the plus minus value here also goes up with it. So that means you're more likely to see the later sections, like section 6, 7, 8, spawn in later than section 1, 2, 3. And so every time it loads in one of those, it'll toggle a toggle on trigger, and that'll also toggle on its row of move triggers. So if I just play through this again, you can see that each one dynamically loads down a certain amount. So what's basically happening is if section 1 loads in, it'll load in all these move triggers for the first section. If this section 2 loads in, it will load in all the triggers for the second section, and so on and so forth. So once you get one, it'll go down, and then it'll pick another one, it'll go down, pick another one, go down, like blah, 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 blah. I hope that makes sense, because that took me a little bit of time to figure out, but I think the effect is well worth it. And again, let me know what you think of the sound effect triggers, because I am kind of experimenting with them a little bit. Now I can talk about this text. In the future, I want to have this whole loading screen as the dude we created in the last video, which I highly recommend you check out. I want it to be like loading in the level for you, and so its face will become this whole loading screen, essentially. I think that'll be a really cool effect. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I know it's a bit of a shorter video than the last couple have been, but it's because building so much gameplay takes so much time, especially trying to do it at a decently high quality, because one of the main points of the random Gauntlet contest is that your gameplay needs to be readable. Like, it has to be readable. And so I put in a lot of effort to make sure you can read what's coming up, you know what's coming up, and it'd be nice and simple to play through. Because we are aiming for, I guess, 7 to 8 stars is what I want this eventually to be. So yeah, now we've basically gone from 5 to the power of 4 levels, which is 625, to 5 to the power of 8 levels, which is 390,625 different combinations of level you can have, which is mental already. And I 100% clickbaited the video with that. You watched this video because I said that in the thumbnail, didn't you? Leave a comment down below if you did. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to be trying to upload these weekly so you can have a bit of a peek at this random level and get some inspiration for your own random levels, because I know a lot of you in the comments have said you're working on your own, and that's so cool. I can't wait to see what you guys have also done. I hope you had a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.